Great quality doesn't require much effort. In Bulgaria, this saying rings true for a man who redefined elegance on the football pitch, Dimitar Berbatov. With incredible ball control and an elegant touch, he belonged in the same conversation as legends like Thierry Henry, Karim Benzema, and Dennis Bergkamp. But Berbatov had a unique approach. He never ran. Much like Lionel Messi, he believed that quality didn't always require effort. Though often criticized for his slow, seemingly effortless style, Berbatov was far from ordinary. He didn't fight for the ball or run endlessly like others. Yet when the ball met his foot, it was as if art was being created. From his humble beginnings in Bulgaria to his illustrious career across Europe, Berbatov demonstrated that football is not just a sport, but a form of art. Through his graceful style, he redefined how the game could be played, showing that finesse, patience, and elegance can lead to greatness just as much as power and speed. Chapter 1. A Tough Childhood. Dimitar Berbatov was born on January 30th, 1981, about 100 kilometers from Sofia, Bulgaria. His mother was a professional handball player, and his father had a solid football career. So Berbatov was born with sports in his veins. However, life wasn't easy for his family. Growing up in the last years of communism, they struggled financially. They couldn't even afford a proper football for Dimitar to practice with. He used a basketball or even an inflated pig's bladder. Yes, you heard that right. To improve his touch, he kicked those makeshift balls against a wall for hours every day. All those long, tough sessions built the incredible ball control we later saw in the Premier League. From a young age, he was obsessed with perfecting his touch. "No one ever told me to practice my control," Berbatov once said, "but I always wanted to get better." This obsession shaped the player we would come to know and admire. Berbatov's raw talent was undeniable, and after Bulgaria's legendary run to fourth place in the 1994 World Cup, he was inspired to follow his heroes. Chapter 2. Early Football Years. As a young boy, Berbatov idolized football greats like Marco van Basten from AC Milan and Alan Shearer in England. Little did he know that one day he would win 2 English Premier League titles. Berbatov's talent started getting noticed as he joined the youth team of Pirin Football Club, scoring 77 goals in 92 matches. His performance quickly spread across the small country, and in 1998 he was signed by CSKA Sofia. Dimitar made his professional debut at just 18 years old, scoring 6 goals in 16 matches during his first season and helping his team win the Bulgarian Cup. He followed that up with 16 goals in his second season, even making his European debut. Berbatov stayed loyal to CSKA for a few more seasons, but his star was rising quickly. In one UEFA Cup qualifier, he scored an astonishing 7 goals over 2 matches against a Moldovan team, leaving fans breathless. Chapter 3. The Mafia Threat. But success in Bulgaria also attracted unwanted attention. One day, as Berbatov left training, a black car pulled up beside him. Inside was a family acquaintance who invited Dimitar to get in. Trusting the man, Berbatov entered the car, only to be driven to a deserted restaurant where he found himself face-to-face with Georgi Iliev, one of Bulgaria's most feared mafia bosses. The conversation was tense. Iliev wanted Berbatov to join Lokomotiv Plovdiv, and the implication was clear refusal wasn't an option. Berbatov was just 20 years old, caught in a situation way beyond football. He later recalled to the Times that this episode deeply affected him. Luckily, with some behind-the-scenes help, the situation was diffused. This frightening encounter lit a fire in him. He needed to escape Bulgaria, to find a place where his football could flourish. Chapter 4. The Frustrations at Leverkusen. In 2001, Berbatov decided it was time for a change. He joined Bayer Leverkusen in Germany for $2.5 million. At that time, Leverkusen wasn't the powerhouse they are today. Known as Neverkusen, the club had a reputation for falling short in key moments. Berbatov's arrival coincided with a golden generation of players like Michael Ballack and Zé Roberto, and hope was high. Berbatov's first season wasn't groundbreaking. He spent time in the reserves, but earned his place in the first team the following year. What followed was one of the most frustrating seasons in football history. Leverkusen reached the German Cup final, led the Bundesliga with only a few games left, and made a stunning run to the Champions League final, defeating giants like Arsenal, Juventus, and Manchester United. But disaster struck. Leverkusen lost the Bundesliga title to Borussia Dortmund, the German Cup to Schalke, and in the Champions League final, fell to Real Madrid, courtesy of an iconic volley by Zinedine Zidane. For Berbatov, it was a nightmare, despite scoring 16 goals that season. His stats were impressive, but the collective heartbreak overshadowed his personal success. Chapter 5. Premier League Arrival. After solidifying his place in Leverkusen, Berbatov attracted interest from top clubs across Europe. In 2006, Tottenham Hotspur won the race, signing him for $10.9 million. Joining Tottenham was a surprise, as bigger clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United were also interested. But Tottenham believed in Berbatov's potential, and he didn't disappoint. In his first season, Berbatov formed a deadly partnership with Robbie Keane, contributing to over 38 goals across 49 matches. His skill and technique stood out in a league known for its physicality, earning him a spot in the Premier League Team of the Season. Spurs fans quickly took to him, voting him their Player of the Year. Berbatov's elegant play was highlighted by his brilliant solo goal against Charlton, a moment of pure football artistry. Chapter 6. The Move to Manchester United. By 2008, Berbatov had made his mark in England, and Sir Alex Ferguson of Manchester United took notice. After a dramatic transfer saga, United secured Berbatov for $75 million. Joining United was the pinnacle of Berbatov's career. And he knew it. It was a dream come true, he said. United had an already star-studded attack with Wayne Rooney, Carlos Tevez, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Where would Berbatov fit in? It wasn't easy at first. His slow, graceful style didn't seem to match United's fast-paced attack. In his debut, he scored 8 goals in his first 10 Premier League games and added 2 Champions League doubles. By the end of the season, Berbatov had won his first Premier League title and a League Cup. Chapter 7. The Mafia strikes again. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. The Bulgarian Mafia threatened Berbatov's family, demanding £500,000 for their safety. When his mother refused, the threats escalated to kidnapping his wife and child. Desperate, Berbatov turned to his manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, who arranged for a private jet to fly Berbatov's family to safety. While the threat was temporarily removed, the situation took a toll on Berbatov's performance. Chapter 8. Redemption and the Golden Boot. Despite the challenges, Berbatov didn't let it affect his football for long. In the 2010-11 season, he bounced back in spectacular fashion, becoming the Premier League's top scorer with 20 goals. His 5-goal display against Blackburn and hat-trick against Liverpool were standout moments. But the biggest shock came in the 2011 Champions League final. Despite being United's top scorer, Berbatov wasn't even included in the matchday squad. Watching from the stands as his team lost 3-1 was a devastating blow for Berbatov. That decision from Sir Alex Ferguson marked the beginning of the end for Berbatov at United. Chapter 9. The Later Years. Berbatov played one more season for United, but his role diminished. In 2012, he joined Fulham, where he enjoyed a successful stint, scoring 15 goals in 33 matches. He described his time at Fulham as a chance to enjoy football again. In 2014, Berbatov made the move to AS Monaco. Many saw this as a final chapter in his career. But Berbatov wasn't done yet. He helped Monaco finish second in League One, and his technical skills were still on full display, particularly with an unforgettable lob against Nice. Chapter 10. A Unique Legacy. As his career wound down with stints at PAOK and in the Indian Super League, Berbatov had achieved more than most. 258 goals, 105 assists, 2 Premier League titles, and a place in the hearts of fans around the world. Berbatov was never the fastest player, nor the hardest working on the field, but he didn't need to be. He played football like an artist painting a masterpiece, calm, composed, and always with elegance. His touch, vision, and ability to turn a game with one moment of brilliance are what make him unforgettable. Dimitar Berbatov's career is a testament to the idea that football is as much about beauty and intelligence as it is about speed and strength. He proved that you can play the game your way and still reach the highest levels. Despite the critics, despite being labeled lazy, Berbatov leaves a legacy as one of football's greats, a player who turned simplicity into something extraordinary. His story reminds us all that sometimes less is more, and grace can be as powerful as grit. This is Dimitar Berbatov, the artist, the magician, the Prince of Bulgaria who made football look effortless.